Hi and welcome to Jade Journeys. My name is Natalie. Thank you for being here and thank yourself for showing up today. My intention with this yoga class is to introduce you to some classic yoga poses and guide you through perhaps your first yoga class ever. I encourage you to be very kind on yourself and just do your best, have fun and enjoy the process. We'll begin today by coming into a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs or just sit on your heels, rolling your shoulders away from your ears, closing down your eyes gently. And we're going to begin today by connecting with our breath. Inhaling and exhaling through our nose. And I will introduce the box breathing technique. The name refers to the fact that a box has 4 sides, and we use that concept here by breathing while we slowly count to 4 for a total of 4 times. 4 counts of breathing in, 4 counts of holding our breath, 4 counts of exhaling, and 4 more counts of holding after we exhale. So breathe in through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the exhale out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then begin inhaling and exhaling at a natural pace and rhythm that feels good and easeful for you, keeping your eyes closed, growing tall through your spine. Just finding stillness here. The only thing that is moving is the air and the organs associated with the practice of breathing. Don't worry if your mind is wandering or you're feeling discomfort, maybe even tension in your body. That's totally normal. And yoga is the practice of stilling the fluctuations of the mind. So essentially that's why you're here. So just have compassion and know that you can always use your breath as an anchor to tap into the present moment and to still your mind by focusing simply on the practice of breathing. And you can view your thoughts as clouds, but the true you is the blue sky. So just allowing the thoughts to be there and float by, but knowing that you can rest in that eternal, infinite blue sky behind them. I invite you here to take a proper exhale out through your mouth, and then place your hands on your heart, feeling your heartbeat in there, this miraculous organ. Maybe taking a moment to feel gratitude for yourself and for this soft, tender heart of yours. Maybe there is a message here for you. Then releasing your hands down onto your lap or onto your knees again. Inhaling your arms up towards the sky and exhaling to find your tabletop position with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're going to prepare for our cat-cows here. So we find an inhalation to open our chest and bring our belly button towards the ground. And then exhale to arch our back and gaze towards our navel. Inhaling to curl your lower back, gazing up, and exhaling to bring your abdomen in and arching your spine. Continue this movement at your own pace, using your inhalation to open the chest, look up, and exhale to contract the spine and gaze towards the navel. Bringing movement, awareness, and energy into our spine here. Inhaling to open and exhaling to contract. Try and over-exaggerate this movement as much as you can, warming up every vertebrae of your spine, engaging the shoulders and the movement. Entire torso is involved. Finding your way to a neutral spine, tucking your toes and lifting your hips towards the sky, coming into your downward facing dog. Pressing through your hands, spreading your fingers wide, and keep your weight mostly in your legs. You can bend into your knees as much as you need to here, keeping your feet parallel, sliding your shoulder blades down along the spine. You can gaze towards your feet, pedaling your knees, bending into one knee at a time to stretch the backside of your legs. Really getting to know this position. It's always awkward the first time you get into downward facing dog. And that goes for every time you do yoga. Bringing your feet slightly closer together and then inhaling your right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog, and exhale to place it between the hands at the top of the mat. And tilting your left foot slightly out at a 45-degree angle and inhaling your hands towards the sky, bending into your right knee and coming up to your warrior one position. The right thigh is parallel towards the floor, keeping the weight in the front heel and big toe, drawing your lower abdomen gently in and up and lengthening through your spine, opening the chest, keeping the back leg engaged, and then opening up that left foot out towards the side of the mat, opening your hips towards the long side of the mat, and coming into your warrior two. Pressing the four corners of your feet down and engaging your legs here. Core is also engaged. Look towards your right hand. And then find an exhale to place your right elbow onto your right knee and extend your left arm above and beyond your head. Coming into our extended side angle pose, keeping our right thigh parallel to the floor, knee is above the ankle, lower abdomen is engaged. See if you can gaze towards your left palm, feeling an opening and extension throughout the entire left side body here. Inhaling back to your warrior two. bringing your left toe slightly closer to the right and preparing your base for triangle. You can keep your feet about one leg's distance apart. Begin shifting your hips towards the back of the room while bringing your right hand towards the front of the room. And then slowly tilting your right hand all the way down towards the ground or towards your right shin or ankle or maybe a block. Meanwhile, you're bringing your left hand all the way up towards the sky. If you can, if your neck allows to, you can gaze towards your left hand. Otherwise, you can gaze to the side or down. Don't strain your neck here. Engaging your legs, and you can micro bend your right knee. And then cartwheeling both hands back towards the ground, tucking your left toes and stepping back to your downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet here, stretching your legs. We're going to get ready to do the other side, inhaling our left foot up towards the sky and exhaling to place our left foot between our hands, opening the right foot slightly out at about 45-degree angle, bending into our left knee, squaring our hips forward and extending our arms and hands above our head. Gazing forward, left thigh is parallel towards the ground. Bend into the left knee as much as you can, engaging your core, keeping the weight in the front heel and big toe, opening your chest, keeping the legs engaged. This is our Warrior One pose, Virabhadrasana 1. And then opening up our right foot towards the long side of the mat, bending continuously into our left knee, finding our Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Front toes are facing forward, pressing the corners of your feet down, and extend now your left elbow towards your left knee and coming into our extended side angle, bringing our right hand above and beyond our head, imagining a line drawing from our outside of our right foot towards our right fingertips. If possible, you can gaze towards your right fingertips here. Bending into your left knee, legs and core are engaged. And finding your way back to your Warrior 2, bringing your right foot slightly closer towards the left, preparing for our triangle pose, lengthening the left leg, beginning to tilt our right hip towards the back of the room and our left hand towards the front of the room. When you can't pull these two aside any further, you bring your left hand towards the ground, towards your shin, or towards your ankle or a block, while you rotate your right hand up towards the sky, opening up for the chest. Maybe if it's possible, you can gaze up. And don't hesitate to micro bend into your knees. Don't forget to breathe. Stay here for a bit more, using your feet as your anchors, and then cartwheeling both hands back down towards the ground, and then stepping back into your downward facing dog. Left and right foot meet each other, and slowly begin walking your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat, coming into our standing forward bend. So you can bend into your knees as much as you like here. We're really focusing on releasing our entire upper body over our legs. You can bring your hands to the opposite elbow, swaying gently from side to side. If your hamstrings are feeling too tight, soften your knees and let your head hang heavy. If you're struggling with balance, you can keep your feet about hip width apart, which will increase your stability here. And placing your hands on your shins, extending through the spine, halfway lift, and exhale to come even further into that forward fold. Then slowly find an inhale and begin rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes last until you find your way at a standing position on your mat. You can extend your hands alongside your body, palms facing forward, shoulders drawn away from your ears. Just closing down your eyes here and finding groundedness and stability. Then inhaling, hands up towards the sky, and exhale to fold forward again over your legs, placing your hands into the mat and stepping back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling your right leg up towards the sky and exhaling to place your right foot between your hands and lower your left knee towards the ground, untucking your left toes, finding your low lunge here. Hands towards the sky, hips are squared to the front of the room. The right knee is above the right ankle, engaging your abdomen here, squeezing your inner thighs together for more stability. And then releasing your hands back towards the ground, coming into a low lunge variation. You can come onto your fingertips, gazing slightly up, allowing your hips to drop towards the ground. And then beginning to tilt your hips backwards, straightening your right leg, walking your hands back towards your body. You can bend slightly into your right leg, coming into your half split. Energetically bringing your right hip towards the back of the room and the left hip slightly forward to square the hips. Try to keep your back flat whilst pulling your chest forward. Engage your core, flex your right foot, press the left thigh forward, and you're likely to feel a lot of sensations in your right hamstring. Connecting back to your breath if you've lost a connection. That tends to happen as we move around quickly. You're doing great. You can explore how you would like to place your hands. And then beginning to bend into the right knee again and walk your right foot towards the outside of your right hand. You can tilt the right toes slightly out towards the side. Coming into our lizard pose here. Keeping your hips level. You can relax your core. Keeping your hands under your shoulders. Maybe you come down onto your elbows. Hugging your thighs towards your ribs. Then tucking your left toes, stepping back into your downward facing dog. Slightly pedaling here. And finding an inhalation to roll forward into your high plank. Engaging your core, finding stability. Hands are above the shoulders. And then exhale, lowering your knees, chest, and then chin towards the ground. Ashtanga Namaskara. Placing your hands under your shoulders and inhaling for your cobra. Lifting your chest up from the floor, exhaling to lower down Once again, inhaling up and exhaling down. One more time here, inhaling all the way up as high as you can, engaging your back muscles. And then exhaling down, tucking your toes and making your way back into your downward facing dog. We're going to do our left side now for this sequence, inhaling our left foot up towards the sky and exhaling to place it between our hands at the top of the mat. Lowering your right knee towards the ground, untucking your right toes, bending into your left knee and finding your low lunge. Reaching your hands towards the sky, making sure that your left knee isn't going beyond your left ankle. Keeping the hips low and level with each other, hips face forward, shoulders away from the ears. Engaging your core for more stability here. Don't forget to breathe and lowering your hands back towards the ground next to your left foot, maybe coming onto your fingertips or knuckles. Allowing gravity to do the work here. You're likely to feel quite intense sensations around your hips, glutes, hip flexors, psoas. And beginning to extend your left leg, flexing your left toes or your left foot, and walking your hands slightly closer towards your body so that you can keep your back flat, pulling your chest forward, and energetically bringing your left hip slightly backwards and your right hip slightly forwards. Try to keep your hips above your right knee. You don't have to fold forward. It might be enough to just be in a half split with your legs. So you can walk the hands as close or far away from your body as you need. And then from here, beginning to bring your hips forward again, placing your hands steadily into the ground and walking your left foot towards the outside of the mat on the left side. Toes can face slightly out, finding your lizard on the left side. Keeping your hands underneath your shoulders. Relax your core. Relax your hips as well. And don't force anything here. Make sure that your left knee is above your left ankle to protect your knees. Have gentleness and compassion as some guiding principles when you do yoga. And then tucking your right toes under and stepping back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling into your high plank and exhaling again to lower your knees, chest and chin towards the ground. Inhaling for your upward facing dog this time, lifting your legs from the ground, and then exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Stretching the legs. Then beginning to walk your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat. Heel toeing your feet mat width apart, toes facing out, and lowering your hips all the way towards the ground. Finding your deep squat, the yogic squat, Malasana. Placing your hands together in front of your heart, palms are touching. Elbows towards the knees, knees towards the elbows. Really pressing your palms together to create resistance. Allow your spine to lengthen and open your chest. Maybe you can close down your eyes here, really feeling into your hips and groins. Feel free to gently sway and move a bit from side to side to bring some movement into this posture. If it's too much, you can also sit on a block or a cushion to support your hips. Come back to your breath and then begin walking your hands out behind you, scooching your glutes out from underneath you, extending your legs in front of you, bending into your knees as much as you need to sit up with a straight back, placing your hands next to your hips, just lengthening here through the spine, flexing your feet, Dandasana. Then inhale your hands up towards the sky and exhale to begin folding forward, hinging at the hips, trying to maintain a straight spine as you fold forward over your thighs. And you go where you go. Maybe you reach your toes, or you can place your hands alongside somewhere, your legs maybe on the outside of your knees. On each inhale, lift and lengthen the torso, and on each exhale, release the torso and fold further into the pose. You might realize that after a while, as your body becomes softer, you can release your head towards your legs or knees. Really sink into this pose. Closing down your eyes, focusing on the breathing. Inviting a sense of relaxation throughout your entire body. And then beginning to slowly walk your hands back towards your hips, sitting back upright. We're going to bend our left knee and place it on over our left foot over our right leg, left foot towards the right hip. Inhale your right hand up towards the sky and exhale to place your right elbow on the outside of your left knee whilst bringing your left hand behind you and gazing over your shoulder. This is the half Lord of the Fishes pose. Twisting your body towards the left. You can also hug your left knee with your right arm. Keep lengthening your spine as you breathe in and twist from the belly as you exhale. Again, coming back to your breath, untwisting, extending your hands up and releasing them down. Placing both feet in front of you, you can pedal your legs a bit, shake it out. Bending into your knees and windshield wiping them from side to side. Releasing any tension. Extending both legs, bending into the right knee, placing the right foot on the outside of the left leg towards the left hip. Now, if you like, you may also bend into your left knee and place your left foot towards the right hip. Then inhale your hands up towards the sky and exhale to bring your left elbow on the outside of your right knee and your right hand behind you, gazing over your right shoulder. using every inhale as an opportunity to elongate through the spine, and exhale to twist a bit further. The twist is orchestrated from the abdomen area, opening your chest and collarbones. Coming back to your breath. And have patience with your body. Yoga is a never-ending process. There's always new things to discover, parts of us to connect with. There is no goal or performance, just a spiraling exploration. Inhaling your hands back to center and releasing them down, untwisting your legs. Again, you can windshield wipe your knees from side to side. And bringing the soles of your feet together, grounding into your sitting bones. Bringing your heels in towards your pelvis and allowing the knees to relax out to the sides. You can flap them up and down a bit, growing tall through the spine and the crown of the head. Clasping your fingers around your toes and then beginning to fold forward. Bending through the hips and allowing the spine to arch here. We're in our forward fold, bound angle pose, butterfly pose. Letting gravity work on stretching your inner thighs. You can sit on a block, cushion or blanket to raise your hips so that your knees can open more naturally. If your knees are high, it will take a lot of effort to hold them up, so the solution would be to place a block or something under each knee to give them something to rest on. And beginning to come up to a seated position, bending into your knees in front of you, toes and feet together, beginning to lean slightly back, engaging your core, lifting your feet from the floor, engaging the back muscles, engaging your inner thighs. Tip on the back of your sitting bones and lifting your feet up to about knee height, a 90-degree angle. Maybe you can straighten your legs, bringing your arms parallel to the floor. And then exhaling down, scooching your hips slightly forward to make sure that you can roll all the way down towards the ground. Spine is connected to the earth. Arms next to your body, palms facing down, bending into your knees. Placing your feet near your sitting bones, about hip distance apart. And then inhale to lift your hips towards the sky. Engaging your legs, your core, your glutes. Making sure your knees are aligned over your ankles. You can interlace your fingers on the floor and tuck your shoulders underneath you. Drawing your hands towards your feet. We're in our half bridge pose. Then finding an exhalation to gently roll down vertebrae by vertebrae until your tailbone reaches the floor. Finding a neutral spine. Allowing your knees to fall in to touch each other, bringing your feet mat width apart. Releasing the lower back this way. Closing down your eyes and catching your breath. Integrating what we just did, and then we prepare to do it once more. Arms next to your body, engaging through your legs, lifting your hips towards the sky, interlacing your fingers underneath you, drawing your hands towards your feet. Really explore the full expression for you today. It's a spinal extension, also known as a back bend, opening up our chest, and then finding an exhalation to gently roll back towards the ground, hugging your knees in towards your chest, rocking from side to side, massaging out the lower back, giving yourself a little hug. You're doing so well. Then extending your left leg towards the ground and using your hands to guide your right knee over towards the left side of your body, extending your right hand out towards the right side, bringing your left hand towards the right knee, gazing towards your right fingers, finding your supine spinal twist here. Keeping your right knee in line with your waist. Begin to really relax, slowing down your breath. We're coming towards the end of the practice. I would highly encourage you to close down your eyes here if you haven't done so already. Really take this opportunity to go within. How are you feeling? Where is your mind wandering? Yoga is an internal practice. It works on our mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic bodies. Beginning to transition back towards center, giving your right knee a squeeze, maybe rocking it slightly from side to side. Then extending your right leg towards the floor, hugging your left knee in towards your chest. Beginning to guide your left knee over towards the right side, extending your left hand towards the left. Gazing over your left shoulder, bringing your right hand towards your left knee. If your knee is not touching the floor, you can place a blanket, cushion, or a block underneath it for some extra support. Again, beginning to slow down your breath. Maybe you can breathe to a count of 6. Inhaling for 6 and exhaling for 6. Closing down your eyes. Really falling into the mat. No muscles are active. Your entire body is just relaxed in this pose, receiving the benefits of this abdominal twist. Twisting the spine, massaging the abdominal muscles and digestive system. Then inhaling to come back to center, bending into your knees, drawing your knees towards your chest, grasping the outer edges of your feet with your hands, widening your knees and draw them towards your armpits. Try to align your ankles over your knees. We're coming into our happy baby. Pressing your tailbone and shoulders into the ground, flexing your feet, pressing them into your hands, while pulling your hands towards the floor. This is an excellent example of the interplay between effort and ease in yoga. You want to exert a little pressure on your feet to draw them towards your armpits, but not so much that your tailbone lifts off the floor. So find that balancing act. Maybe you want to rock from side to side here. And then beginning to lower your knees down. You can draw some circles with your knees using your hands to massage your hip joints. And then in your own time, beginning to extend your legs, bringing your feet mat width apart, allowing them to open up like a book, extending your arms alongside your body or out towards the sides, palms facing up, arriving in our final pose for today, Shavasana, rest. Beginning to relax our toes and ankles, shins and calves, knees and kneecaps, thighs and hamstrings, pelvis and hips falling heavy into the earth, relaxing our abdomen, our chest, our rib cage and lungs, relaxing our shoulders and shoulder blades, upper arms, elbows, forearms, palms of the hands, relaxing your fingers. See if you can soften and straighten them. Relaxing your throat, unclenching your jaw, relaxing your eyes and the space between your eyebrows. And now allow yourself to let go and surrender to this pose, finding rest, peace, and tranquility. Gently begin bringing awareness back into your body. You can invite some movement in your fingers and your toes. Extending your hands above your head, pointing your toes, coming into a full body stretch. Then hugging your knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a squeeze, rocking from side to side, keeping your eyes closed, allowing your knees to fall over to one side. You can use your hands as a pillow for your head. Just arrive here for a few moments. Come back to your breath. So we're gently awakening the body. And then in your own time, with your eyes still closed, come up to a comfortable seated position in the middle of your mat, rolling your shoulders away from your ears, letting your hands rest onto your lap or onto your knees, palms facing up. Just taking a moment to sit here in the energy that you've created for yourself. Becoming aware of how you're feeling, any shifts that have happened from prior to the practice. Bringing your palms to touch in front of your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today for this practice. I hope you feel a bit more centered, balanced and relaxed. Thank yourself and bow down to your own heart in gratitude for yourself, your practice and your dedication to your health and well-being. From my heart to yours, thank you. And I'll end this class with a quote by Rachel Brathen. The yoga pose is not the goal. Becoming flexible or standing on your hands is not the goal. The goal is to create space where you were once stuck, to unveil layers of protection you've built around your heart, to appreciate your body and become aware of the mind and the noise it creates, to make peace with who you are. The goal is to love, well, you. Shift your focus and your heart will grow.